Today we are going to do some paper quilling on our wooden box, kind of similar to this style. Your layout design could be totally different. So we're going to work on putting our paper quilling design on the top of our wooden box from the kits that you picked up from the library. So I wanted to show these two. I pulled my design from this sample here, and these are some examples of some different styles of curling that you can do for the paper quilling. So we're going to use these various different styles for your design. So like I said, I started with this in mind and kind of changed it a little bit to the size of the top of the lid. But you can change the colors, you can change the style, use a different curling style. The tricky part is getting and cutting your papers all similar sizes. It doesn't have to be the same size, but if you have a different cut of your paper will have various heights to it, which is okay if that's what you want. But if you want it all to be kind of the same, similar height when you're done curling it and wrapping it around your pencils, the tricky part is getting the paper cut to the same width. You can purchase quilling tools, or I just use toothpicks. It's like a bamboo, it's kind of like a skewer, a pencil. If you're using regular glue, a lot of clothespins help because they help set a specific curl while it's drying. So if you use like Elmer's glue or tacky glue, sometimes using clothespins help to set things as they dry. I'm using hot glue because it does dry instantly and sticks instantly, so then that makes it a little bit easier. So we have our wood top here, and I went ahead and made various designs, curls of different styles, so that way I can kind of lay one out for you and show you. And these are all easy. I've got the little strings from all the hot glue, sticking them together. And I'll explain kind of how you create them and assemble them. Okay, so for the really small, like the black paper, the blue paper, purple paper, I used the bamboo skewer and wrapped the strip of paper around it. Now, the longer your paper, the wider, if you're wrapping a small, tight circle, the wider it will be. Or if you do half this size, the smaller it will be. So that's how you can change things up. For most of these, because of the size of the lid of the wooden box, I used mostly my bamboo skewer to wrap and create these curls. The purple, the large purple circles and the teardrops, the pink ones, I used the pencil. And you see it creates a wider circle. And these are V scrolls, and you can wrap your paper opposite directions to change up your design. Similar to these S scrolls, or you can make like these blue ones here. It's taking a strip of paper, I folded it in half, and I curled each side in. With the V scrolls here, the white ones, I folded it in half and curled it around my bamboo skewer out instead of in. So I went this way, I went out. So when you fold it back together, it's out. So you'll do the other one out as well. Making your teardrops is really easy. You just make a circle, and I did them around the pencil for wider so that you could put smaller, tighter circles inside if you wanted to. And then once you glue it together, you kind of do a little pinch on the ends, whichever ends that you, however the design you want, you just pinch those ends. Okay. So let's start assembling. Now prep is takes a little time. You have to roll all of these around a bamboo skewer or a pencil, glue them, pinch them. So this takes a little time in prep. I wanted to show that you could also layer your tight circles and do several colors. You could do different designs. Let me cover that so it's not. The size of the wood box didn't really allow me to do this scroll here in the center, so I made it a little different, but I did make samples, and it's just folding paper. I took the pink and I really just curled it around my bamboo skewer. So it gives it a nice rounded edge. And you just glue the ends, and then you layer it and glue them up as far as like where you want your loop. So if you want a big loop, or smaller loop, or even smaller loop, that's how far you would glue it. And then you'd glue them together. And that's how you create these kind of leaf style. Okay. So let's start assembling. And you can lay it out first. That's what I did with this one, is I kind of just laid out where I wanted things and then glued and went from there. So you probably want to start with your larger pieces. It can stay on the box, or if you want it to overhang, it can, that's up to you. And when I was talking about the clothespin, like it's really great for things like this, that you can pin it and allow it to dry if you're using like a tacky glue or an Elmer's glue. Now I trimmed these two, so you could cut these two as well if you didn't like how long they are. Or you could make more so that they are all together, to be more similar to the, it kind of looks like a snowflake. So really your design is completely up to you. If you didn't want to do those, you could do a different style. And I used, for the white, they're called open hearts, and then an upside down open heart for the blue. And I did that way instead of adding this tight kind of snowflake style in the center. And it's really just getting started and working out from there. So let's and you can see that a couple of my loose hearts are larger than the other, so maybe you want to separate them between some smaller ones. Maybe you only want 4 for now, and start with this centerpiece. Okay, so now we've gotten started. Now you could just work out from here. So, what should we do next? And then you just play with your design to figure out what works where. Do you want it to be wide? Do you want it to be together like this? And then you just keep working around the lid, gluing the pieces however you want them. Okay, so now we've gotten started. Now you can add in and cover the entire lid, or just cover the center. So let's add a couple more things just to show what you can do. Maybe you want to come back in and add these. Maybe, no, let's try something different. Maybe you want to add to the, and make really small ones to add to the centers. You can just place things, see how they look. If you want to, you could take a piece in half because you want it to be smaller. I'm rolling it because I want a tight circle. Once you get to about towards the end, give yourself a little glue to finish the roll. And you can make smaller ones similar to this so that you could place in those if you wanted. Let's glue our purples down. Maybe you want to leave those holes open. So you can continue your design any way you'd like. If you'd like to finish here, this is great, this is perfect, I don't want to do any more. Or if you want to continue to add more, that's the great part about it. You can add any way you'd like. You could put another circle inside your teardrop. whatever you would like to do. So just continue and finish your lid however you'd like. Enjoy!